Perfect. And I'll just get Susan to get our slideshow going. As we're getting started here today, I'd love for everyone to just kind of put a little note in the chat if you're comfortable, where you're joining us from, and whether you are a creative entrepreneur looking for resources, or if you are a service provider or just interested person, kind of what brought you to our session today. If you want to type that in the chat, and then everyone kind of gets a sense of who is here, that would be great. Okay, so as we get started, our Entrepreneurs with Disabilities program, we really focus on helping entrepreneurs who are managing a health issue. So when we talk about a disability or a health issue, sometimes people aren't sure, what is a disability? Do I qualify? What does that mean? And so we like to describe it as, and it's really not a limiting program name with lots of requirements and things like that. We are an open and accessible program, and what I really like about it that aligns well, with my values too, from an accessibility perspective, is that we don't require lengthy medical documentation or anything to be eligible for our services. So when we talk about someone who's living with a disability or a health condition that you need to manage on a day-to-day basis, it can be a really broad range, anything from asthma, arthritis, mental health, living with anxiety or depression, maybe a cancer survivor, and you've got some ongoing, effects of medications and treatments, to having a mobility issue, hearing loss, some vision needs. So just basically anything that you can think of that when you wake up in the morning regarding your health or your mobility needs or accessibility needs that you need to manage and follow routine or have some support for. So whatever that looks like for you. And it's to be eligible for our services, it's just a self declaration. So you saying, yes, I am a rural entrepreneur living with a disability or health condition. And the only time that we would ever want, to have conversations to learn more about what your needs are is so that we can provide resources and support to best suit you, because, the more we know about you, the better able we are to provide those individualized services and supports. So here we have, just a few. We like to showcase some of the entrepreneurs we've worked with. We've got Bruce and Vanessa and Michelle, who are some of our entrepreneurs in Saskatchewan over the years. And in Manitoba, we've got Kaylee and Jeff and Laura and their businesses. Wonderful opportunity to work with so many different entrepreneurs, but also so many different types of businesses. So just a little bit about Community Futures. In Saskatchewan, we have 13 Community Futures offices. And, Community Futures, like sometimes people have heard about it, other people not so much, but we actually have 267 independent nonprofits across rural Canada. So it's we've got a national presence. And our EDP program operates out of 90 offices in rural and 6 urban offices. And in Manitoba, we have 16 Community Futures offices. And each office is governed by a volunteer board of directors, all nonprofit organizations. And you can see here kind of just, based on where you live and what office provides support. So we always, even if you're unsure which office, we do have links on our website where you can look up your local office, or certainly following our session today, you can reach out to me in an email or a phone call, and I can help connect you to your local office. So some of the services we provide we offer one-to-one business consultation. So that is an important part. When someone has a new business idea and you're thinking, okay, or I have this hobby, I love doing it, but could I make money doing this? And so consulting with our business analysts to kind of explore the viability of your business, finding help to look at the different avenues, and kind of doing some market research and exploring whether it's a good idea to move forward and how you can turn that hobby and that passion into a business. We also offer support for that business plan development. So when you feel like you've decided on your business direction and you really want to put together that structured plan, sometimes people think that that's only required if you're applying for funding, like a business loan or a line of credit for your business, that you have to have that business plan. but we really do encourage all entrepreneurs to develop a business plan and do some cash flow projections because it really helps you to have that structure and that short term, but also longer term plan for growth and sustainability of your business and can evolve over time. We also offer business resources and training. We've got excellent kind of tools and tips and checklists to help you get going. And, being an entrepreneur can feel overwhelming and you get to do what you love, but then there's all the things that you have to do too. And especially when I think of creative entrepreneurs, I mean, you want to use your creativity and expression and innovation, and then we have to do things like bookkeeping, which is not necessarily the most fun thing that we want to do. And sometimes that plan development, some of those things can feel overwhelming, but what's important for you to know is that you're not alone and you're not meant to walk the entrepreneur journey alone, and that's why we're here. We got lots of resources, support, and training for you. So I'll talk more specifically about some of the training we have available. And we also have access to repayable loans for viable businesses. So you can apply for a loan through our community futures offices for up to $150,000. So whether that be, you need a smaller amount just to get started or for some equipment and supplies, or you're looking at, a brick and mortar business location and you need to, be purchasing a building or renovating a building, things like that. So whatever your needs are, we've got some financing options for you. And sometimes, we are a developmental lender. So when you explore your options, you'll find what's the best fit for you, compared to financial institutions and what we have to offer. And sometimes depending on the amount you need, we can do collaborative loans with other organizations or institutions. So lots of options there. So, just a little true or false. If you're here today, kind of just exploring whether entrepreneurship is for you, just type in the chat, or even if you just want to jot down and think for yourself, that's fine too if you don't want to share in the chat. So, I'll just ask each of these questions and I want you to consider true or false. So, number one, I like the challenge of juggling many responsibilities. So, true or false? For me, I guess it's true, but depends what it is. Depends which responsibilities. But it is always a good challenge. Number two, I'm happy to work long hours doing something I love. I'm happy to work long hours doing something I love. I've got to say true on that one because when it's something you love, the hours don't feel long. That's how I feel. Number three, I like working independently. I like working independently. True or false? Number four, I like coming up with new and different ways of doing things. I like coming up with new and different ways of doing things. Number five, I want to be able to set my own work hours, even if it means I must work at night or on the weekends. True or false? You want to be able to set your own work hours, even if it means you must work at night or on the weekends. And the last one, I have a hobby. So when you think about just reflect on your answers to those questions in the true or false. If you answered mostly true, chances are entrepreneurship and self-employment be a great option for you if you're not already self-employed and you want to explore. And if you already are, then you probably just validated yourself that you made the right decision. So if you're a creative entrepreneur or you have, some hobbies and you're really into creativity and got some of those things that you're doing sort of for fun and because you love, let's kind of transition that and look at how we can focus those things into potential self-employment opportunities. What might interest you as a creative entrepreneur, right? Think of artists, designers, photographers, writers, and sometimes people don't realize the earning potential for a business in some of these areas. I mean, But as you set yourself up with that professional business plan, some good structure, good support and training, you can really maximize on what you offer through the passion and the skills that you have. So, another neat thing to consider is when you're thinking about your business and what you offer, where can you locate your business? What might be a good fit? I mean, technology and how many advancements we have, now, especially in the last few years, there's such great potential for working from home, kind of having hybrid models, depending on you can reach a broader customer base and audience for what you offer through your business. So possibilities are much broader for what you are able to do now and talk about business location. So just think about that. And that will be part of your plan moving forward. So this one here, I'm really gonna lean into all of you for. When you think of self-employment, what do we think the pros are? And if you're already self-employed or you support people who, are entrepreneurs, what are some of the pros? What are some of the good things? Why do we want to be self-employed? You want to type that in the chat or feel free to unmute yourself. What are some of those pros of self-employment? Yeah, setting your own schedule. Yes, Carolyn. When I think of this too, I really think there are many pros for self-employment for people who are managing a health condition or a disability because you do get that flexibility of scheduling your own hours. And as much as, and certainly in my work and accommodations, yeah, be your own boss, Ruth. Yes, is that we do always want to strive to encourage employers to accommodate their employees and to make adjustments and to be flexible. But depending on, the customer needs, the business needs, some industries are harder to really offer that flexibility to employees. So it can limit what might work best for you when you're managing your health condition, depending on what your employer, needs and what your customer base needs. So when you are self-employed, you really can. I think of an entrepreneur living with multiple sclerosis and certain times of the day, early morning, not good in terms of how they're feeling, how they're managing, their symptoms. And later at night and into the early hours of the morning, that's when they're feeling much better and able to work and not experiencing so much pain or, kind of those symptoms happening. So that they can be totally flexible on how they set up their business, how they operate their hours. But if they were working for an employer, they can't necessarily work from 9 p.m. till 2 a.m., right? Because they need to meet the needs of the customers or be interacting with colleagues and things like that. So when you're self-employed, that can offer more flexibility depending on what you're doing. And also time off for medical appointments, treatments, things like that. If you just need to adjust your schedule, having that independence and freedom really helps. What are some of the cons? What are some of the, you know, things that you think might be challenging when you're self-employed? I rolled my eyes already earlier when I said bookkeeping. So doing some of the things that you don't really enjoy doing, but you have to do. Um, but there are some solutions for that, right? You could build into your cash flow projections that you're paying a bookkeeper, or once you reach a certain sales target and growth in your business, that those are some of the services that you can outsource. Some people love doing marketing and social media, other people not so much. So that is another opportunity that you can outsource some of those things. But yeah, again, those are challenges. I think fear steps in as one of the downfalls, right? Does anyone agree with that? That sometimes sort of the fear of the unknown, not having that guaranteed salary coming in, sort of that unpredictability when it comes to the financial and your income can be a concern. Benefits, things like that, vacation time. Yeah. Ah, yeah. The fundraising, marketing, absolutely. Totally agree, Ruth. Yeah, so lots of things to think of in terms of pros and cons, but everyone's situation is very unique and different. So but it is important to explore those things for yourself, have conversations with other entrepreneurs because maybe there are solutions or options that you hadn't considered yet that might help you kind of weigh these pros and cons. Great. So if you're looking to start a business or if you have started a business and you're looking for support and resources to continue growing your business, think about what are the things that you need to do, right? Well, for sure is definitely be connected with other entrepreneurs and service providers offering you with support and training and information because you're not meant to walk this journey alone. So some of the things that we have available through Community Futures and our EDP program. We've got lots of resources. So I've mentioned those business supports. So you would work with our community future staff to plan and launch your business and receive ongoing business aftercare. So, for the life of your business, you're considered obviously a community futures client. And then that business plan development. We have a great business plan workbook. It's a template that helps you organize all of your ideas, different various areas of business development. And we've got a helpful startup checklist and with it's kind of a 10-step guide, to help you plan to start your business and think of all those specific details that you might be aware of, but some things that maybe you hadn't considered or you didn't know yet. I'm going to send those to you after our session today as well with the links to where you can find them on our website. So no worries there, you'll have that. And then our business training. So we do have our Build a Better Business program, which is a 10 module self-directed online business training program. And I'll give you a review of those 10 topics, 10 module topics right away. We also have different community futures training opportunities. So, like I mentioned, there are 13 offices in Saskatchewan, 16 in Manitoba, and each office plans all different types of training events, networking groups, different information sessions, kind of targeting the needs in their region, their clients, and potential entrepreneurs who want, to learn more and industry specific as well, because every area of each province is, there are differences and kind of those unique, nuances. And so there are lots of local training opportunities. So it will be helpful for you to be connected with your local community futures office so that you can be aware of and attend some of those events in your area. And then specifically in our EDP program, so we provide that additional individualized support for any entrepreneur living with a disability or a health condition. So kind of how it works is that Susan and I work alongside all of the Community Futures offices. So anytime they have an entrepreneur who comes in for business support resources, maybe a loan, and they do self-declare and identify as an entrepreneur living with a health condition or a disability, we come alongside to work with our business analysts at the office so that we can offer any additional supports and resources that might be helpful for the entrepreneur. So sometimes that's just bridging, different funding opportunities, accessibility accommodations, connecting with other organizations and health resources that might be helpful for someone. And, we often find as rural, folks, we can be really innovative and figuring things out. And we might not be aware of some of the supports and resources that are available to us in our communities. And so we like to help build some of those bridges for people and take a very individualized approach. So we're always here for information, support, and resources. And we often run specialized programs because we can tap into different funding options, through the federal government or elsewhere for kind of grants and special funding to run projects to offer some enhanced supports based on people's individual needs. So right now we have a program called our Business Builder program. And it's a 3-year project funded through the Opportunities Fund for People with Disabilities through the federal government, where we can offer really specialized, individualized support for 6 months for entrepreneurs who are ready to launch their business within that timeline. And we've got some additional supports available like mental health counseling, adaptive technology based on, health condition or disability related need, additional support while going through the business training and developing your business plan. So lots of great options for those people who, need and would benefit from some of those additional supports. And then we also have some our grant program that I'll mention as we move forward. So the Build a Better Business program has 10 learning modules. So it really gives a solid foundation of knowledge for people who are looking to start a business, or maybe you've started a business, but you might have jumped right in and realized, ooh, there are some areas of my business that I want to target and I need to learn more about to kind of level up. So you start with business startup. It talks about how to register your business, how to kind of reserve your name, all of those different really practical tools and things to consider when you're starting a business. Then there's a whole module on business planning, which is a really in-depth, comprehensive module that gives you lots of information and things to consider to help you start building that plan. And again, using that template that we have, you can really build that out um, piece by piece because it can feel so overwhelming, but then you can work on each individual area and then it doesn't feel so overwhelming because it kind of breaks it into manageable pieces. And then all of these other modules where you can kind of pick and choose what you want to focus most on or complete all of them. Just depends what really you're looking for your business. So we do have some people that, sign up for this program and they just really want to focus on some of those bookkeeping skills, or now they're at a point where their business is growing, so they want to learn a bit more about human resources because they're going to start hiring staff. And so that module would be really helpful. And the great thing is it's free. It's available both in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. I'm going to send you guys the links to get registered and check it out when we're done our session today. So here we are with our $750 business services grants. We have grants for business mentorship, and digital marketing. So we do have, these are always in high demand. So our applications are full right now for this year, and we do have a wait list, but I still think it's important to talk about it so that you know that these are available in both Manitoba and Saskatchewan. So the 750 in business mentorship services is you can apply for this grant, and that if you're approved, you have $750 in funding that we will pay directly to a service provider to offer you business mentorship services. So it's a win-win because you get the benefit of learning, and having support to learn new skills in your business to whatever area. It might be bookkeeping, might be managing your social media and kind of working through some of that, and or it could be learning a new point of sale system that you've integrated into your business, working with someone who has experience in that area. And we like to, keep the money in the province. So not only are you benefiting and your business is benefiting, but we're also supporting another local entrepreneur in their business in your community. So it's a win-win. Same goes for the digital marketing. If you're approved, you get up to $750 in services for digital marketing services. So that could be maybe you're ready to have some updated photos for your website. Or maybe you want to put it towards your new website and use that, so that you have that company building that website out for you, or maybe doing some updates or a rebrand, setting up some social media content, just any type of digital creation, we can pay directly. Again, there's that win-win, $750 in those services, which is quite significant for a small business owner, right? Really helps you get ahead of the game. So I do encourage you to check that out. Our link is there. I'll also send it in the email because you can get your application in, connect with us, and get on the waiting list. So we'll have that funding available. It does renew every year in April. So I do encourage you to keep track of that if it's something that would be helpful for your business. And we also have available, it's our Go Digital SaaS program. And so it was initially started in Saskatchewan, but they have now opened this up to those living in Manitoba as well. So I do encourage you to check this out. It's operated through our Community Futures office in Sunrise, and it's in Saskatchewan. And it's funded by Prairie's Rural Opportunities Fund. So for a one-time fee of $100, so you pay $100 and you get provided with up to 20 hours of support from a digital consultant. So whatever type of digital support needs you need for your business, they will help you with that. Once you sign up, consultant will contact you, let you know you've been accepted in the program, and advise you of some of those next steps. So some of those things could be helping you get that website set up, doing a rebrand and an update. Maybe you want to look at your, going to sell items on your website. So you've never done the e-commerce piece before. They'll help you kind of navigate that and set it up. Lots of different options, consulting, branding, focusing on that website, which is huge. So $100 for up to 20 hours of support from a digital consultant. It's an amazing program. So we'll just watch this video so you can meet Candace. She shares a little bit about her story in the EDP program and as an entrepreneur. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, just give me 1 second here.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Susan.
No, we had it there. It seems to be flying through it for some reason.
Kind of skipping past.
Yeah.
I can always include the link. It's on our YouTube page. We've got a number of videos there kind of showcasing some of our entrepreneurs that we've worked with.
No, not sure why, but it's just
Won't
skipping.
work. It was working before we got started, but of course,
Yeah.
there we go. So I'll send you the link so you can learn more about Candace and her business. So we really like this quote from Rachel, and that's what it's all about. Don't let your health concerns get in the way of fulfilling your dreams. So that's the goal and the vision is that, we want to reduce any barriers so that you can achieve your dream business and be able to move forward and not having some of those things hold you back if you have the right support and the right information and the right resources to be able to move forward with your business. That's why we're here. So just a few examples, either thinking, for yourself, think of anybody that you know or clients that you may be working with, just who might be a great fit for the services that we have to offer. So this is Cassie. She is a creative person. She's got a flair for making TikTok reels and social media posts. She's had some work experiences in school, but hasn't, held a job yet. So she's helped a few friends and family members with their business pages, and she's excited to try to develop this into a business. She's ready to develop her formal business plan and officially launch her business by the end of 2024. So this is a great self-employment opportunity for her, checking that box. Wonderful impact on the community. Think of all the people that, she can help with their business pages. And then an economic impact, both for herself in creating some financial independence and stability, and also being able to contribute to her local economy. And here we have John. John is, a leathersmith. He's got over 25 years experience. He's needed some time off work due to a health condition. He's ready to start working again, but he needs better control of his working hours so that he can manage his health. And he wants to set up his own shop. He's ready to develop his formal business plan and launch this side hustle business by the end of 2024. So great self-employment opportunity. And really more and more, I mean, you might have heard the term side hustle, but a lot of people are starting a side hustle also to be able to share their passion, but because they need to supplement their income, with inflation and increased costs of living, it can become more and more challenging. So even a side hustle business, like kind of turning your hobby into a side hustle or part-time business, is an option too. So there's no requirement that you need to be starting a full-time business to be eligible for our services. It's anything from selling a few items twice a year at farmers markets to a full-time business and everything in between. So self-employment, great opportunity for John, positive impact in the community, bringing new business, and that, great economic impact as well. So we just want you to stay in the loop. We are on Facebook and Instagram, so you can find and follow our pages. We do share, both inspirational posts and information, but also updates on any new programs that we have available, some training opportunities, just different information sessions that you might want to attend or share with other people who who might be interested. So what's next? So we are, Community Futures offers support to entrepreneurs who live in rural areas, right? So anywhere basically in Manitoba outside of Winnipeg, then you're eligible for our services. And in Saskatchewan, anywhere outside of Regina and Saskatoon. So if you've joined us today from either Winnipeg or Regina or Saskatoon, not to worry, there are supports and services available for you. So in Winnipeg, there is EDP Winnipeg. and that got their website and phone number there. I also will have it in our follow-up email. You can let me know if you have any questions. There's also a RISE program through Community Mental Health Association in Winnipeg, and they support, entrepreneurs who are living with mental health conditions or mental health needs. And so there's their information there if that's something you're interested in. And in Regina and Saskatoon, we have our edpsask.ca. So there are services in both Regina and Saskatoon. So you will get a follow-up email from me with lots of links and information. Feel free to connect with me for questions. What I always find is that it's so nice to have that personal conversation and connection because everyone's situation is different. So don't hesitate to send me an email if you want to have a phone call or just have some email correspondence back and forth, or set up a Zoom call so that I can learn more about you and what you're looking for and then help connect you with some resources and support and go from there. So I think some of those courageous conversations are where the magic happens and people can move forward with their dreams. So it's an honor for us to be a part of that with you. And also, if you're a service provider, to come alongside some of the people that you're working with and help them achieve their business and life goals. So I will open it up now for kind of any questions, discussions. And if Susan had anything to add that I might have missed in the presentation or some of our discussions.
I just wanted to make sure people saw the chat. There's a few service providers that were able to join us today, that they offer grants for creative entrepreneurs or also offer business services. So, one of the things we learn as entrepreneurs is we need to network, right? And as many people that you can have supporting you is what you want. So you never have to choose. You just find what works for you and keep going to other programs. And in Manitoba and Saskatchewan, there's no wrong door. You just start with one of us. And if we're the right fit, great. But if we can add other resources, we will. If for some reason you're not in that region, that's okay. We'll send you to one of our partner organizations. So the goal at the end of the day is to support the entrepreneur. And it really doesn't matter what name of the company or organization you're going to. We're going to help you navigate and find the services and resources you need. So I'm really glad that people are taking a time here to put things in the chat, and we really appreciate that support for everybody.
Very true. Thanks so much. Okay, so if there aren't any questions, I guess I did a really fabulous job of covering everything so thoroughly, or either that, or you're all so knowledgeable already. But definitely have a look at the follow-up email. I'll also have a link to the recording in there. If as you were, in the session today, you thought of anyone that you know, maybe a friend, family member, a neighbor, a colleague that you know who might be interested or kind of has a passion for looking at starting a business, you can feel free to pass along the information to them, connect them with us. We're always happy to meet new people and share support and information. So thank you so much. And thanks so much for your time and being here.